Please stop. Don't shoot, I am begging you.
Everyone remembers a name that echoed through Egypt after a single summer day, Denshawai. It was June 13th, 1906. The sun hung high above a small village in Egypt's Nile Delta. Farmers worked their fields as they always had, unaware that before the day ended, their village would become a symbol of colonial injustice. What began as a routine pigeon hunt by a group of British officers soon spiraled into a national scandal. The officers had come to shoot pigeons. To them, it was sport. To the villagers, those birds were survival. The pigeons nested in village dovecotes and provided an important source of food and income. When gunfire cracked across the fields, villagers rushed to stop the hunt. Angry words followed, then pushing, then stones, then panic. Within minutes, a local dispute exploded into violence. One British officer collapsed from exhaustion and heat while attempting to flee. Others were injured during the confrontation. For the villagers, it was a desperate reaction against years of humiliation, arbitrary authority, and the daily reality of living under foreign rule. But the real tragedy had only begun. News of the incident raced through the colonial administration. British authorities responded with extraordinary speed. Soldiers descended upon Denshawai. Villagers were arrested in sweeping raids. Evidence mattered little. Guilt was assumed long before the trials began. What followed was not a search for justice. It was a demonstration of power. A special tribunal was assembled under emergency authority. Witness testimony was tightly controlled. The events were compressed into a simple story: loyal officers attacked by a violent native mob. The verdicts came quickly, and the punishments were devastating. Several villagers were sentenced to death. Others received long prison terms. Many were publicly flogged before crowds of terrified neighbors. The executions were carried out in the village itself, ensuring that every family would witness the consequences of defying imperial authority. The message was unmistakable: obey or suffer. British officials believed the harsh response would restore order. Instead, it achieved the opposite. Across Egypt, outrage spread like wildfire. Newspapers condemned the verdicts. Political clubs held heated meetings. Students circulated pamphlets describing the brutality of the punishments. Lawyers and intellectuals pointed to the glaring abuses of law and procedure. For many Egyptians, Denshawai shattered any remaining illusion that British rule existed for their benefit. The incident became more than a village tragedy. It became a national awakening. Poets wrote about the condemned man. Journalists transformed Denshawai into a symbol of resistance. Nationalist leaders invoke its name in speeches and meetings. What the British intended as a warning slowly became a rallying cry. Even Lord Cromer, the powerful British consul general who had dominated Egyptian affairs for decades, found himself facing growing criticism. The scandal damaged Britain's reputation both inside Egypt and abroad. Yet the deepest impact could not be measured in political debates or newspaper headlines. It lived in the memory of mothers who watched their sons taken away, in the memory of farmers forced to witness public punishments, in the memory of a nation that saw the law twisted into a weapon of empire. Denshawai was never simply about pigeons. It was about power, about what happens when authority values control over justice, about how a single act of disproportionate punishment can expose the true nature of a system. The British Empire intended Denshawai to be an example of its strength. Instead, it became evidence of its weakness. Because empires can silence voices, imprison bodies, and even take lives, but they cannot erase a memory once it becomes a cause. And in the fields of Denshawai, beneath the unforgiving Egyptian sun, a local dispute became something far greater. The moment an empire revealed its face, and a nation began to find its voice.